It might sound crazy, but believe it, Kai and Tai Lung, two of the most iconic villains in the Kung Fu Panda franchise, have already faced each other in an epic battle, and the outcome was not great for Tai Lung. Yes, you heard that right. These two Kung Fu giants actually exchanged real blows, and the mighty Kai came out as the big winner of this clash that many people didn't even know had happened. On one side, we have Tai Lung, the feared antagonist of the first Kung Fu Panda, adopted son and former student of Master Shifu. He grew up with the promise of becoming the legendary Dragon Warrior. And honestly, he really had the potential for it if the Kung Fu Panda 4 script had helped, right? But anyway, even without reaching that title, Tai Lung became an incredible fighter. The problem is that, after being rejected by destiny, he gave into his thirst for revenge and used all his power and technique for evil. On the other side, we have none other than Kai, the main villain of the third film, a warrior over 500 years old who, after being banished to the spirit realm, returned thirsting for power and destruction. His goal? To defeat every Kung Fu master and steal their chi, absorbing their life force to become even more powerful. You can already imagine that when these two collided, the result was absolutely chilling, right? So sit back, stay with me until the end of this video, because this story is way too good for you to leave halfway through. And of course, you're watching another episode of Cine Lovers. If you love Kung Fu Panda as much as I do, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out our playlist pack with videos all about this amazing franchise. Just click the card right there. Let's dive into this epic showdown between Tai Lung and Kai, a clash of giants, true Kung Fu titans that, although never directly shown on screen, whether in the films, animated series, or any other official DreamWorks production, was subtly yet clearly confirmed. No fight scenes or flashbacks, but rather a small detail, a hidden clue buried within the plot of Kung Fu Panda 3 that went unnoticed by many. As subtle as it may be, this small detail is the key piece that clearly shows this legendary battle really did happen at some point in the past. It's not a fan theory or baseless speculation. It's a real clue that was placed there, almost like a gift for the most observant viewers, and it completely changes the way we see the story of these two characters. Let's quickly recap what happened with Tai Lung. Back in the first movie, he was defeated by our beloved Po using the legendary whoosh finger hold, that iconic move that sends the opponent straight to the spirit realm without even giving them a chance to say ouch. In other words, from that moment on, Tai Lung left the world of the living and ended up exactly where Kai was. Fast forward a bit, and we arrive at Kung Fu Panda 3. It's in this chapter of the story that we're properly introduced to Kai and begin to understand the true scale of the threat he represents. We find out that he spent no less than 500 years, yes, half a millennium, trapped in the spirit realm. But he didn't spend all that time simply admiring the scenery or meditating in silence. Quite the opposite. Throughout those centuries, Kai was constantly fighting, facing off against countless legendary Kung Fu masters who were also there. With every chi he stole, Kai became stronger, more dangerous, and one step closer to achieving what he truly wanted, a ticket back to the mortal world. Every victorious battle was like a step up the ladder back to the living realm, and the more he won, the more terrifyingly powerful he became. And guess who Kai also came across there in the spirit realm? That's right, Tai Lung. That means that at some point, probably during the events of the second movie, these two faced each other inside the spirit realm, and Kai stole Tai Lung's chi and even imprisoned him in the form of a jade amulet. That collection of amulets Kai carries around his waist? They're all former Kung Fu masters whose chi he stole, transforming them into jade amulets that stay stored there until he decides to summon them as jade zombies to fight for him, just like he did with Master Shifu and many others. But in Tai Lung's case, he stayed tucked away on Kai's belt. Look right there, the jade amulet with Tai Lung's face on it. That confirms the fight between them really happened, that it took place in the spirit realm, since both of them were there, and that Kai won. And you might still wonder, why didn't Kai summon Tai Lung's amulet as a jade zombie? The guy was one of the most powerful ones he had. He'd be a great ally. That's exactly why Kai didn't summon Tai Lung, because with every chi he stole, Kai got stronger. But every time he summoned one of those jade amulets to fight for him, that chi left his body, which made him a little weaker. And there are Kai stronger than others, and Tai Lung's was one of the strongest. So Kai decided to play it safe and keep Tai Lung's power stored within himself. Otherwise, things could have gone badly for him. That's also the same reason he never summoned Master Oogway. So yes, even though the battle between Kai and Tai Lung was never shown on screen, the Kung Fu Panda universe makes it clear that it did happen behind the scenes, and that it was intense enough to leave a mark. They really should have shown it to us though. It would have been way more exciting. game. And this actually proves something else. A lot of people have always debated whether Tai Lung is a master or not. Some say he is, others say he's not. Personally, I think Tai Lung isn't quite a master. He's almost a master, since he never completed all his training and studies. But then we see that Kai only stole the chi of Kung Fu masters, and yet he stole Tai Lung's chi. So that shows DreamWorks actually considers him more of a true master than an almost master. Now, Kung Fu Panda 1 with Tai Lung and Kung Fu Panda 3 with Kai were truly epic. Actually, the whole trilogy was. But then they brought the franchise back in Kung Fu Panda 4 in a really ridiculous way. And they even confirmed Kung Fu Panda 5 and 6 with sea animals. Where is this going? I have no idea, but I'll be here to tell you all about it. Thanks so much for sticking with me until the end. I'll see you in the next Cine Lovers.